there's some pretty cool changes that are taking place in the Wi-Fi space with respect to standards and so forth. I mean, you want to kind of share kind of what's coming up and the impact it makes?
Yeah, so one of the biggest thing is this 6 gigahertz, the 8 to 11, the E part of the spectrum, right? The Wi-Fi 6E piece, and that opens up 1.2 gigahertz of available spectrum, and everyone gets excited about it because obviously I haven't met a venue yet that says we've got too much capacity. Can you?
Yeah.
So and spectrum allows us to have that capacity to deliver, whether it's a augmented experience or immersive experience, which is another one of the trends that's going on at venues. So that's exciting. There's still a lot of the ecosystem stuff that still needs to be ironed out on that, but Ruckus is rolling out the Wi-Fi 6E products, and as that ecosystem starts to come up, and also regulatory things get sorted out with the automatic frequency coordination, because that spectrum is encumbered currently by existing users.
Yep.
So it's not completely vacated, and we've got to coexist, but we've got the technology. Yeah, go ahead.
Now to clear, just to kind of dive into that a little bit further, 6E on the indoor space is allowable, correct?
Yes, the low power.
I mean, you can do that full game on, but where you're talking about other incumbents, that's in the outdoor space, right?
That's
so it's like
correct.
6 gigahertz licensed microwave point-to-point links.
Exactly.
And is that what you see is going to happen? Is there's going to be some type of spectrum bridge, kind of like CBRS, like
Yeah, I think that's the goal. And for my space, in terms of stadiums and arenas, there's some rules around not being able to have it weatherized. It must not be battery powered.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Those sort of things. So if you do that, then that low power exemption goes off the table. Now you're considered a outdoor device, and now because of that, you have to have the AFC function, the frequency coordinating function, and so we haven't seen it take off. Well, there's tremendous amount of interest in it, and then when you start looking at the ecosystem, currently what we're seeing is that it's in high-end laptops and devices. Because it does cost another, chip, another radio, another filter, and all the other things that are going there. And we are seeing too that, where silicon manufacturers and a lot of the interest now is starting to shift to Wi-Fi 7. How can we take what we've done in Wi-Fi 6 and make it even better with Wi-Fi 7? And there's some interesting things that are being done in Wi-Fi 7 in terms of things that we didn't have in historically, where we can actually do frequency puncturing, where we can take a big channel, but if the part of that channel is interfered with or have some interference, we can actually shift dynamically down to a smaller set.
Wow.
And that isn't something we've historically had, and when we're doing stadiums, arenas, and conventions,
it's a fixed channel plan.
It's a fixed channel plan and fixed bandwidth plan, right? So if that channel has any contention or any interference, it's basically stops transmitting. And Wi-Fi 7, because of the puncturing capability, it can go and use a smaller slice of the good side of the spectrum.
Right. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. So a lot of good stuff. But then, like you mentioned, the ecosystem, the devices have to follow to take advantage of it, right? The end user devices, the phones, the so forth. So I mean, how long? Like when you guys go into these stadiums, I just think about. Are there any users that are still using 2.4, or do you have that just as an amenity kind of thing? Or
actually, the shift started happening a couple of years ago, but what we did find is you need to be surprised how many people still, from a laptop perspective, carry 2.4 stuff. Most of it, unfortunately, is media and press and so forth. They have their refresh cycle is relatively long. But yeah, it also depends on markets. It depends on what type of market you're in, not just in one region, but a lot of our venues internationally still has tremendous amount of 2.4, relatively speaking, just because those are longer refresh cycles for them, and it's cheaper. So a price point is an issue that generally becomes, but most of your venues now will take 2.4 out of the bowl because there's just not enough spectrum to and use that more for back of house. And then maybe put 2.4 in the concourse areas or in the press area and things of that sort for private use.